Lex and Stacy's Threesome Podcast brought to you each week by Blenders. Great sunglasses. Go to blenderseyewear.com and see the amazing styles for men and women. And do realize when you use promo code LEX, you get yourself 20% off if you spend over $50. So you and the chick can go on there and each get you a pair. You'll spend over $50 and spend much less than every other great brand of sunglasses. And you will be happy. You will get your 20% off. And now it's time for another Threesome Podcast. What up? Lex and Stacy, Threesome Podcast 141. What's up, Stacy?
Not much, Lex. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
It's been quite the week here. So,
how are things?
They're good. I'm just glad to be doing the podcast. It's one of my favorite things to do.
So are you, me too, thank you. Are you still bleeding out of your asshole?
No.
Good. Did we determine that it was in fact just beets, or do you think there was something going on?
Inconclusive, Stacy.
But did he check?
But when
did he poke you in any way?
When I got tested, I had no signs of blood down there.
What kind of tests were done?
A stool sample.
Did you really have to bring poop in from?
No, I
did
didn't.
You have poop homework?
I had poop homework.
No, seriously, I've never done that. Do they swab you? Where do they get the poop?
Well, if you have it, you can give it to them there, which is what I did.
So you did bring some in from home?
I came in there and went to the bathroom is what I did, and they gave me something.
Oh, so
yeah.
See, you dropped a deuce for them. Did you come out and say, here it is, look what I made?
Did. I went, there you go.
I made a big one, yay.
I said, I never asked you how much shit you needed before I went in. I hope this will do it. And they went, yes, that'll be sufficient.
Oh, good. So no blood there?
No.
Good. Any worms?
No.
They test you for worms?
No.
They should.
Why?
Well, because I think that most humans have worms of some kind, at least at some point in their life.
Yeah, but there would be signs of that.
There are different types of worms. Some can be very small. Pinworms. Does your ass itch in the evenings or at night?
No.
Probably have pinworms. They're usually in little kids. They're like the little worms that crawl out of their butts while they're sleeping.
No, I don't have those.
I'm just saying, if you have an itchy butt in the evening.
I do not have an itchy butt in the evening.
If you ever do, you can buy over-the-counter stuff.
Well, if I do, I'll just scratch it and see if that does it.
Oh, God. See, but that's then how, because then if you do that, and you might get little microscopic pinworm eggs on your hand, and then you look over at Lisa and you go, oh, sweetie, give me a big kiss, mwah, mwah, mwah. And then you wipe those eggs across her face, and then they work into her mouth, and now she's got pinworms too. See how that works?
Don't get in a relationship then. I'm not gonna be so fucking careful on everything, or I gotta tread like that. Fuck that.
Well, I'm just saying, if your butt itches in the evening, don't scratch it. Get pinworm stuff.
It's not something you think about, Stacy. Sometimes you itch and you scratch it and go, whoops.
Well, then run and wash real quick, so you're not giving it to her. Or your dogs. Actually, the pinworm stuff that you can take is actually dog stuff, but it's for humans too.
Look, I don't give a fuck about that. It's not what I was in there for.
Well, good. I hope you don't have pinworms, Lex.
I don't.
Good.
Hope you don't either.
Me too.
And you probably won't get them because you're alone.
I do have a dog, though, but I also have pinworm medication, so...
Good for you.
Because I care about my dog's asshole.
Yeah, well, if you did, you'd scratch it for him.
Have you ever expressed anals? Or do you leave that to your vet? Like the dogs, you know how they, on each side, there's like the anal glands, and they have to occasionally be expressed.
I've never heard of that.
Especially if your dog drags its ass on the floor a lot.
I haven't had one that does yet.
Okay. Then their anals are probably pretty good.
That's good to know, Stace.
If it's a bad anal gland, when it gets squeezed, like expressed, like a thick white paste comes out. But if it's like healthy, just like full, like liquid will actually squirt out of it.
Good to know.
Yeah, you should ask your vet. Seriously.
I will next time. How about that?
Ask him to do it so you can watch. You can
sure.
go, oh my God,
yes.
I didn't know this was in my dog.
God, yes. A must-see. I thought we were going to talk about jets.
We're getting there. Lex is all hot for the female pilot that like saved everyone except for the one lady.
Well, at the time of the broadcast, she wasn't quite sure what exactly happened to her. She told the guy she got sucked out the window.
See, I had heard partially sucked.
It was partially sucked, but somebody made it sound to her that somebody got sucked out the window. That's the information she had based on the broadcast
gotcha.
You were hearing. Because at the time you hear the broadcast, she's trying to land the plane.
Gotcha.
And the air traffic person's trying to divert all the other flights, give her a free path in. And they worked very well together, and she calmly landed the plane.
Girl power.
Yeah. And she was magnificent. Very calm, very in control. When she landed the plane, she was like, have a good day. I was like,
thank you for flying Southwest.
Of course, me, after hearing that, went, God, that's hot.
I was going to say, how much
you were just
pictures I saw of her where she was hot.
You were just near death. Just a few minutes ago, you were near death. You had no idea what kind of shape your plane was in or what you were in. And, you finish with, have a good day.
Thank you for flying.
You, ma'am, are my kind of girl.
She looked very pretty in the pictures. Not that should make a difference in her accomplishments at all.
Here's the best part. I have no idea what she looks like. I could pass her on the street. I have no idea what she looks like. I'm just telling you, it sounded hot.
One of her pictures, she kind of has a Kelly McGillis from Top Gun thing going on with the hair and all that.
So she's a lesbian.
No, not. She wasn't a lesbian then, allegedly.
That's like a Simpsons thing. All women who look like Kelly McGillis are gay.
We've talked about that. Knowing what we know now, that love scene in Top Gun is the unsexiest love scene in all of cinema history.
Ice cold, frigid sex scene.
Knowing that he was sticking his tongue in her mouth and she's going, oh, gross.
I'm imagining you to be a man right now. I'm imagining you to be a girl right now. Okay, let's act. I mean, how is it to edit out, this is awesome goose?
Take me to bed or lose me forever.
That's right. Meg Ryan's step into the big screen. I knew for certain. God, she was so beautiful. Why the hell did you fuck with any of that? Why?
No.
You were perfect.
Renee Zellweger was the same way.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep.
I just saw her for the first time in a while. I think we talked about this. Did we talk about Daniel Craig's new face? Yeah. Did you see Daniel Craig's new face?
Yeah, in that Lucky Logan movie. Yeah,
well, he's done it since then. He's had some work done, but he's done like a Meg Ryan. It doesn't look like him at all. It actually makes him look older.
I mean, here's the thing about women that they just don't realize is that we can tell you had something done, and that ruins everything.
Does it?
It does to me. I mean,
See,
Meg Ryan would have aged perfectly.
I agree. I think she would have always maintained that certain cuteness, kind of like an Audrey Hepburn.
I used to love Gwyneth Paltrow's mom.
Blythe Danner.
Yeah, Blythe Danner. And I used to love, Joanne Woodward, Paul Newman's wife. I mean, these are women that have just aged beautifully. They're as attractive to me as they ever were.
What about Helen Mirren? Did you like her? Did you know her when she was young? Because now she's hot.
Helen Mirren's still hot.
And that's what I'm saying. I only know her. I had no idea who she was until she was suddenly this hot older woman.
Yeah, Helen Mirren is hot.
Yes. And she's got that great personality, and she knows she's hot, but is still sort of humble about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she's just so confident, but not like obnoxiously confident. I really like her a lot.
I mean, I'm trying. I would have to just see the TV shows and the older women on them, but
what about Angie Dickinson?
I love a woman in her 50s. I do.
Sheila Ward.
Uh-huh.
Mimi Rogers.
Mimi Rogers looks like she had some work done. She looked a little different.
Yeah.
But Sheila Ward, you could tell she didn't fuck with it and didn't need to.
No, see, Michelle Pfeiffer, they just had a reunion, or it was her and what's his face, Al Pacino, talking about Scarface at something. Maybe it was at Con or something. I don't know. But anyway, one of the questioners, the interviewers, asked her about her weight in the movie. How much did you weigh when you were filming Scarface? Which the audience got pissed and started berating the guy for asking that question. And she explained, look, at the beginning of the movie, I have no idea what I weighed. I mean, she never gave a weight amount. But she said, I was doing a lot of cocaine in the story, in the movie, so I was purposely, the shoot was supposed to take 6 weeks. So she was eating less and less in real life so that she was becoming more emaciated.
So she looked like a cokehead, yeah.
Exactly. Except the movie ended up taking 6 months to film. And the very last scene of the movie, they kept pushing back so that she couldn't gain weight. She had to keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just, it sounded like they kind of fucked her a little bit, with that. But anyway, so she explained the whole weight thing with that movie. But the pictures of her, she's had now work done too. And I just think that she was one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Me too. I met her in a restaurant when I lived in L.A.
Did she look?
She looked extraordinary. And barely had any makeup on and was just in some jeans and a nice top. And I just went by her and I said, excuse me, I hope you don't mind, but I really love your work and just think you're fantastic. And she couldn't have been cooler.
Aww.
She thanked me and asked me my name and, what do I do and all that stuff. A little couple-minute conversation. Then I knew she was ready for me to go and I left.
Good.
But she has always been one of my favorites because of that moment.
Who is now? Because there is a difference between seeing a female in a movie or on TV and then seeing them in real life. A lot of times for me, when I see someone in real life, they look a little funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because the camera does things and everything. So knowing that, who is the most beautiful female you've met in person? Who at that particular moment in time, you just went, oh my God.
Stevie Nicks.
She's beautiful. Really?
Yes.
How come?
Because I met her about 3 years after Rumors, backstage in Orlando. And she looked like she barely had any makeup on. And she had these doughy eyes and these kind of flowing, curvy, nature body, not skinny. She looked like she had.
She was a woman.
And her face you couldn't stop looking at her face. It was so beautiful.
Aw. See, Famke Janssen would be mine.
Ooh.
Like, she was very tall. And then I was just like looking at her, just thinking, wow. Because she hasn't aged well either, but I don't think she's had work.
But she hasn't aged poorly. I just saw her in something not too long ago, and she looked great.
Maybe it was because she was in Hemlock Grove as like the really scary mom, and they had her in super dark hair. And I actually thought as I was watching Hemlock Grove that maybe the hair was, I understand what they were going for with the dark hair, but it might not have been super flattering to her. But this would have been, this was 96 when I met her. And she was just, she was in her 20s and she was just flawless and perfect. And it was like, she's a foot taller than me. And it's just like, holy shit, you are a beautiful woman. I get it now.
And after Stevie, I would have to say Christina Applegate.
I could see that. Now, was this like...
She was like 20 when I met her.
So this was right in the middle of...
It was right near I would say getting towards the end of Married with Children.
Yeah.
And... She
had that body. Come on, everyone our age and older knows what I'm talking about with the bod.
Oh yeah. I mean, but you didn't get that far in her body because her face was devastating, and
she always looked.
And her personality. Her personality was so fucking awesome. You didn't look at her like she didn't need that. She was hot without it. That
her face always struck me as being kind of porcelain doll-ish.
Oh yeah.
The little tiny kind of puckered lips and just that perfect skin and stuff.
But I didn't make the connection. I had no idea, but I worked with her dad, Bobby, who was in the record business. And, she's at this event we're at, and, I see Bobby, and I went, oh, it's Bobby Apple. Oh. And so I went over, I said, Bobby, I got to meet your daughter, man. He goes, yeah, you and 100 others, but come on. And he took me over and introduced me to her. He goes, I got to work with this asshole all the time. And she's like, I must meet him then. She was totally cool. And I was just like, oh my God.
Well, good. Are
you kidding me? No, she was in like Ron Burgundy. And this was after she, had cancer and everything else. She was just as sexy as can be. These women that have, these mastectomies and just go on with life, that's so sexy to me. It really is.
After seeing Tig Notaro's show, and they showed her topless after she'd had her procedure and stuff, I guess I would need to look up pictures of women who maybe had been chestier, because Tig certainly did not have a lot of chest. And she very much, honestly, looks like a flat guy's chest with just two straight scars there. It's nothing horrific. But again, I would need to see, I guess, someone who had more.
Well, my very first girlfriend, and probably the woman I would have married had she not passed away, had a half mastectomy, and of course it was very barbaric back then. You're talking late 80s, right? And I could give a shit. She was just beautiful to me. It's like,
now, did you see? I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, it was.
Was it very much still? I mean, did it look like just a flat chest with a scar?
No, she had a prosthetic in there. But it was very scarry, and very, you could tell for sure.
Right.
And, it just made her hotter that she, took her top off in front of me with that, without any sign of fear or, any kind of feeling bad about herself. It was like even sexier.
It was probably because she kind of dug it too. And felt safe with you, Lex.
Oh, she did. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like I said, I'd probably be married to her to this day had she not passed away. She definitely was the one. Still think about her.
I'm sorry.
That was a long time ago. But yeah, it's I guess it's just I guess they kind of sense how you are about things like that, and I would be the same.
Right.
It's like you can just pick up on people's real thoughts about things like that, and yeah, I think she felt no worry there with me, and I thought that was cool.
Good. I'm glad you had that. Yeah. Not everybody has that.
So when Angelina had it done and didn't have, the top-notch, tattooed, prosthetics put in, she just had it done and lived with it. That was hot to me. It was just like only Angelina would not worry about her vanity and just do that.
She did get boobs again.
Yeah. But
she's not flat.
But she didn't like freak out over it and do an attention thing or anything like that. She just did it.
See, and I realize I'll totally preface it for those who don't know. I just despise Angelina Jolie, but the fact that we found out about it is kind of a attention thing, especially since she does her own publicity. That means she told someone about her procedure.
Well, if you don't tell somebody, if you're her and it gets out, then you look worse. So
how do you look worse? I honestly, and again, this is me hating her. If it had come out that she'd had this done and, her doctor's office leaked it or something, I would be like, oh, well, that sucks for her.
No,
and not being snarky.
Yeah, but you're a smart person. Most women would be like, oh, she's so pretty and beautiful, she didn't want anybody to know. Yeah, it's typical Angelina. That's what she would have gotten had she done that.
See, I guess I don't know. Because, Carrie Underwood, and I'm certainly not a fan. I don't hate her. I just am indifferent because I don't like country music.
God, I love her.
But her face, I've been, poring over the pictures and stuff, trying to see how she looks different. I'm not seeing even, shadows of scarring. So I don't know where she hurt herself with her injury. I'm guessing it's somewhere around her mouth.
She doesn't look super different, to me.
I don't see where she looks different at all. But I'm sure to her, she probably looks monstrously different because we all know what our faces look like, better than anybody. So she probably looks very different to her, but I don't see. But I felt kind of bad for her. It was like, oh, I hope this isn't a bad thing. I hope she doesn't have some big ragged, jagged red scar across her cheek or something.
She's not an idiot. She knows that she only has her vanity for so long, and what happens to even the prettiest of country stars at a certain age. Just ask Faith Hill. Just ask, who was the brunette chick that was around the same time Faith
Shania.
Hill? Shania. Just ask them. At some point, as country stars, they just go away.
Right.
And Carrie replaced Faith on Sunday Night Football. It's like they sent Faith on her way and brought in Carrie to do it.
Yes.
And now it's getting to the point where they're going to bring somebody else in to do it for her.
Yeah.
She knows it. You only have a little, so much of a ride up there.
Right.
It's probably the coolest genre of music there is.
Probably, yeah.
But it's got more
theories.
But it's got more female stars in it than rock does.
Yeah. I'm going to say something incredibly unpopular, and I actually know that it's unpopular, and I actually don't like this about myself. I'm just going to be honest. I have never really felt that there were any really good female rock stars.
To me,
it's very much a male thing.
To me, there's one.
Who?
Chrissy Hine.
Yeah, I could see that.
Total fucking badass.
See, I always just thought Heart, I didn't think Heart should have been a rock band. I just never really thought Heart should have been played in 70s rock stations.
Yeah, you're wrong about that.
I know. I just didn't like hard.
But when they got farther down the road, like into albums, 4 and 5, they definitely skipped out of the rock genre and more into the pop.
Yes.
Yet rock stations continued to play them.
Where, I got my opinion of that from. I very much, because like Barracuda and stuff.
Yeah, Barracuda you can play on a rock station. Alone, you can't.
Right.
And once you start splintering yourself up like that, like Journey did the same thing, it's once you start going down that mass appeal road, you can't go back.
No doubt. I never thought of them as rock. Garbage. I love Garbage. Never thought of them as rock. That was alternative. That was pop, whatever, but that wasn't rock.
Or pop alternative or whatever. But yeah, not rock.
Hole, honestly, was like the only thing that I kind of sort of thought.
But to me,
maybe was a bit.
To me, she was a poor man's Chrissie Hynde. She didn't have her talent, didn't have her attitude, didn't have her moxie, didn't have the songwriting, any of that shit.
Right.
Chrissie Hynde was the real deal, and she's the only one I can think of that was with a small nod going to Deborah Harry.
Now, but again, was she rock? She wasn't rock. She was punk. Pop.
She was punk in the beginning. Not even punk alternative, just plain punk. And then when they got into like Rapture and stuff like that, that kind of
Ashusha.
It's
the first rap. Did you not realize that? Like that was the first rap I ever heard.
Yeah. By the way, I love that song now. At the time, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. Now Rapture's one of my favorite Blondie songs. When she raps in the middle of it, it's so fucking hot.
Ashusha.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my Blondie.
I mean, have you ever seen the movie she was in with James Woods? Videodrome?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, Stacy, you're a sick fuck. You got to see that movie. That is a total.
It's got James Woods in it, though.
Yeah.
We just had that discussion about him.
but it was cool James Woods.
All right.
Not douchebag James Woods.
Oh, you're 16? I don't care. Come with me to Las Vegas. Let me take your flower.
But that's a hot movie, and it's got a really weird, sci-fi plot to it. That this tape makes everybody do super dark, sexual, fucked up things.
Nice.
And they're like taking the VCR tape and shoving it in people's stomachs. It's like, oh, you need to see this, and you see it shove into somebody's, It's fucking awesome. So you must see.
Also, I want to say real quick, David Anderson, one of our podcast listeners who is active on Facebook, thank you for the picture of Donald Trump that he just posted on the Facebook page. And his penis. Thank you.
Enjoying that, are you?
Oh, God, no, because it's on top of Mitch McConnell.
Ugh. Which nobody should be. Not even Mrs. McConnell.
Well, it's Mitch McConnell as a turtle, a big tortoise, and a naked, plump Trump is riding the turtle with his little tiny balls and even smaller penis just resting there above Mitch McConnell's head.
All right, well, Threesome Podcast Facebook page, you can see it.
Like it, folks. Like it.
Like our page if you haven't. Stacy does a great job with it. You probably do as good a Facebook post as anybody.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime I see a good Facebook post, chances are you posted it on Threesome.
Yay, thanks.
That, and I follow a lot of other people.
Yes. Lex is in his own little insular bubble. So everything I do is awesome because he has nothing to gauge me on.
That's right. And isn't it better that way, Stacy?
Actually, let me find it. Did you see Orrin Hatch's tweet?
No.